I'm really interested in challenges. I want to play characters that I don't know if I can do. I need to feel that kind of walking on a tightrope. I find that really exciting, and I think that it's the only way that I can keep interested, and therefore I hope an audience can keep interested in the films that I do.
Everything you do as an actor ends up taking you somewhere else. I think all of the emotions that you have to go through, whether it's like loving a girl or laughing outrageously at something hilarious, or everything I've ever done in a film, it requires this getting to some sort of emotional reality that is contrary to the actual setting that you're in.
I feel very lucky that I get to play characters that are so complex I can't help but love them because they feel real to me. And you love them because of their flaws, not in spite of them.
You have to just sort of feel it out, and take the chances. And if you feel like on some level it's grounded in some sort of reality, that's really the most important thing. I know that sounds like it might be an oxymoron. You're doing this crazy broad character that's grounded in reality, but it is important to understand where the character's coming from, what his motivations are, whether it's jealousy or, insecurity or whatever it is. And then you just sort of go with that and try to play these crazy big moments in some sort of real way.
My job is trying to play a character that will convince people that I'm that person. If you get a wonderful script like we did on this, that's not quite so hard to do, because it's a ready-made story for you, and all you've got to do is to make people believe that you're that person in that circumstance, like any part you play.
My preparation is always pretty much the same, regardless of whether it's, $150 million film or $1.5 million or whatever it may be. I've got to do a lot of homework, and I've just got to be well equipped when I come onto the floor, and I want to come onto the floor with ideas. And I want to also be well prepared so I have the ability to have a freedom to explore any avenue on the day and have fun.
I think it's always really helpful to just incorporate anything that's happening in life into your work, obviously in a way that makes sense.
Being an actor is the first thing that I remember wanting to do in life. I remember at 14, 15 years old, watching some classic films, spending months and months watching all the great classics, all the great performers of the past, and being so incredibly inspired by them and saying to myself, one day I want to come close to doing something that good. So I think that thirst or that drive to just achieve what I believe is something as good as, those heroes that I have is what continues to make me want to do this.
Every single character an actor takes on, they need to treat that person as if they were real, in order to feel the correct amount of responsibility for their existence, because your job is to create a real, live, breathing, full, rich, multifaceted, convoluted, complex person, and that's very difficult to do if you don't care about that person.
I call acting 3D anthropology or archaeology, in a way that your actors are sort of out there digging away at whatever, sort of in the mine shaft of the collective emotions of human beings across, like, the present and the past and history.
When I read a script, I'm looking at pretty much two things. One is if the writer thought about the character and that the character could possibly exist outside of the script, as opposed to just being used as a pawn for a story. And then the other thing I look at and wonder is if I could do something with it and bring myself to it and make it something that would be entertaining to perform, because I suppose that the most entertaining things to perform is probably the most entertaining to watch.
My whole life I've wanted to travel, I've wanted to tell stories, and I'm fortunate. I feel fortunate because I get to do something that I love to do. And to be able to travel the world, and it gives you, it does help as a human being, because you're living in, and as an actor I get to try and understand and learn many different things of life and different trades, and it gives you great perspective on the world, on life, on people. And I don't think you can help but grow as a human being.